Week one is almost here, people, so I'm here to get you ready to get those starting lineups right and actually give you some pivot options because you probably drafted your starting defense, but you're probably not too comfortable with the week one matchup because who wants to start the Ravens versus the Chiefs to open up the season, or even the Colts versus the Texans? These are decisions that I'm here to help you out with. Let's get right into the content. So I got four defenses that you should be starting for week one. Let's start with the Atlanta Falcons versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is a great matchup for the Falcons to set the tone with their new pieces and Matt Judon. Also, they have Jesse Bates and new and acquired Justin Simmons, who are the both top 10 safeties in interceptions since 2020. There's going to be a lot of pressure coming towards Russell Wilson in this questionable Pittsburgh O-line. So therefore, I'm banking on the sacks and I'm banking on the takeaways with that secondary. Next up, I got the Seahawks defense going up against the Denver Broncos. Now, the Denver Broncos will be entering a very aggressive 12-man environment going to the Seattle Seahawks defense, where I think there's going to be a lot of pressure and maybe some takeaways created with this rookie quarterback. It's week one of the NFL season. The nerves are going to be there for Bo Nix, of course. So I do see this Seahawks defense walking away with a dub and putting up some fantasy points for a lot of fantasy happy managers. Next up, I got the Patriots going up against the Bengals. Now, the Bengals, last back-to-back season, the last two seasons, they started off 0-2, looking a little bit slow and sluggish. Now, we're looking at Jamar Chase with his brief holdout, so who knows if him and Joe Burrow will be on the same page to open up the season. But the Patriots, man, they did lose Matt Judon, so that's a key piece to that pass rush. But they're getting Christian Gonzalez, second-year corner. He missed his rookie campaign due to injury, where I'm looking at this secondary where they look pretty solid to where I'm looking for takeaways and maintaining a balance of points, where this defense last year was very hard to score on. They may have only won 4 games, but this was a defense that you could rely on to keep guys out of the end zone. Next up, I got the Chargers versus the Raiders. Now, let's ignore the last time these two teams met. I got 63 reasons why, but I think the Chargers is a good option to pivot to if you're looking at a tight spot in week one and you just want to pick up a defense. But the Chargers defense may actually be a defense you want to hold on to looking at those next couple of weeks as well. So stay tuned for that. But looking at this Raiders offense, I'm not too impressed with the camp reports coming back with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell. Both of them not looking really good. It's a new era with the Chargers under Jim Harbaugh, where I feel as though they kept all the core pieces of their defense this offseason, where I feel like the Chargers, they're going to have themselves a day come week one. Now, last but certainly not least, this is a defense that I think you could pivot to and pick them up right now off the wire. It's the Minnesota Vikings going up against the Giants. This is how I want to set the tone opening up week one against a struggling Giants offense that have questions at the O-line. Daniel Jones is recovering from an ACL tear, and in the preseason, he did not look good at all. Threw a pick 6, ladies and gentlemen. So I do think Malik Neighbors is the only thing that the defense will probably fear. But how hard is that is to get after the quarterback with this questionable O-line. Danielle Hunter is in Houston now, but they did go out and get Dallas Turner at that 17th pick. So I really feel as though the Vikings are a great piece that you could put into your starting lineups in week one that can create some turnovers, that can get some sacks, and maintain the points, because Daniel Jones and that offense is looking sad. Now, this wraps up another great episode of RotoBaller Fantasy Sports YouTube channel. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe. And listen, I am so excited for week one kickoff. Let's get these starting lineups set. Let's get hyped up for football on Sundays for games that count. And make sure you guys follow me at Real Deal Fantasy on all social media platforms. Until next time.